My wife and I have a young child. We know firsthand just how scary it is to think about how a child's life can be affected by the death of one or more of their parents. That's why it's so important to think seriously about who will be there for them in the event of a tragedy. Understandably, many people find it very difficult to decide who to appoint as the guardian for their kids. My name is Noah Sarna. In the next 4 minutes, I'm going to share just a few tips for how to choose a guardian that's best for your children. This won't necessarily end any deadlocks between parents, but it will provide some reference points that may make it easier to reach a comfortable decision. A guardian is a person who has the right to make fundamental decisions about a child's education, health care, and religious upbringing. Usually, parents share guardianship. Where both parents pass away and their children are under 19, a court chooses someone else to assume the position. Generally, that person is appointed in the will of the last parent to die. If no one is appointed, or if there is no will, then the Director of Child, Family, and Community Services steps up and the government takes over, unless a relative or friend goes to court and asks to become the guardian. But who should you choose? There are some important guidelines to follow when choosing a guardian. Number 1, choose someone who will make or already is a good parent, the sort of person you think will make the right decisions in raising your kids. This is usually someone with a similar lifestyle and similar values to yourself. Depending on the age of your kids, the guardian will effectively become like a parent to them. Make sure it's someone you want to have fill that role. Number 2, choose someone your kids are familiar with. After a parent passes away, it's important for them to be around someone they know and trust. Number 3, choose someone with deep enough pockets. As any new parent knows, having kids means looking at a lot more price tags. Unless you leave a considerable inheritance, the onus of paying for their clothes, food, and so on rests on the guardian. Make sure it's someone who can afford it and who has the space for it. Number 4, choose an alternate. Nobody stays the same forever. Not your kids, not their relatives. People change, people die. It's good to have a backup, especially if your first pick are grandparents. Number 5, if there are people with complementary skills but no one person who you think can do it all, choose multiple guardians. Parenthood means a lot of joy, bear hugged with stress, fatigue, and sleepless nights. It's good to have a partner. Number 6, choose someone who is willing to accept the job. If you have someone particular in mind, clear it with them now. They don't need to sign anything. Just ask them when the time is right whether it's something they think they can handle. Number 7, choose someone local. Losing a parent or two is more than enough change any child should have to experience. Letting them live close to their friends in a neighborhood they feel comfortable may make it easier on them. Whoever you choose, it's important to remember a couple of things. First, this isn't an honor. It's not a popularity contest. It's a huge responsibility with many complicated obligations. If you're worried about hurting someone's feelings, you can attach a note to your will explaining your decision for not choosing them. Second, review your decision frequently. If a sibling you appoint moves across the country, goes through a rough patch, or joins a cult, it may be time to appoint someone else. Third, the guardian can always turn to other people for help. Raising kids is no picnic, and I don't know any parent who can honestly say they did it without any outside help. They can call a friend or relative for advice or babysitting the same way you do now. Depending on your circumstances, there may be more factors to consider, but these are the basics. If you want to talk about any of these issues, I'd love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 604-605-8334 or email me at nsarna@boughton.ca. It'll take 2 minutes and the benefits will last a lifetime.